Cleanups continue here in the islands with both the recovery effort in the Maui fires as well as the Red Hill fuel spill on Oahu being funded by the federal government. Joining me now, Hawaii's Congressman, Representative Ed Case. Aloha and good morning to you, Representative.
Good morning. Aloha.
The end of the federal fiscal year is September 30th, and part of that is the FEMA disaster money that is coming to Hawaii via the Maui fires as well as the cleanup at Red Hill. Now, as far as the negotiations in Congress to continue that date, they seem to be based on Republicans and Democrats agreeing to this package. Part of that is the efforts in Ukraine to help with Russia's invasion. What do you think needs to be done to get a deal?
Well, you're right. We're in a critical 3 weeks here. In fact, I go back to D.C. Tonight. We've got 3 straight weeks of really what are going to be marathon negotiations to get our federal government funded. Very, very difficult environment in Washington, D.C. right now. Some of my colleagues are taking an extreme position that really just don't want to fund it unless their conditions are met. And we're going to have to negotiate that. We have to pass a supplemental bill, which is to boost the funding for the current fiscal year, where we really need that funding to be increased to make sure that our disaster relief continues. And then we have to pass legislation for the upcoming fiscal year as well. And you're correct that there are many, many ingredients to all of that. But my #1 priority and the congressional delegation's #1 priority is to make sure that the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, which is funding all of this critical work on Maui right now, has all that it needs to continue all this work well into the future.
Now, as far as FEMA's work, Representative McCarthy, Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House, came in, and you were part of a bipartisan group of representatives that came in to tour Lahaina with Representative Jill Tokuda as well to look at the damage. And afterwards, he was clear in saying that this is for the long haul. This is going to take a while. Being on their Appropriations Committee, do you feel like that message has been felt throughout Washington?
It has been felt all the way through Washington, but it needs to be repeated repeatedly. We've got a lot of disasters in the country. We have a lot of things on our plate. And so the #1 concern here is that our colleagues completely understand what happened on Maui and completely commit with us to the long term. This is going to be a years-long recovery. And part of this effort that is so critical is to get our colleagues to come down here and see it for themselves, to feel it for themselves, because you know, it's one thing to see the images, it's one thing to read about it, hear about it, but it's quite another thing to be at the middle of Lahaina on Front Street and drive through neighborhoods of absolute devastation. And we've done that a number of times with not only our colleagues in Congress, but of course the president came. We credit him for that, as well as major other figures in the administration. We have cabinet secretaries. We have one on Maui today that is coming down. And these are critical things for us to do to drive home the point of what actually happened there. I think as we do that, then we generate the support that we're going to need in Congress to continue this effort.
Pivoting now to Red Hill with the fuel spill, the efforts are now underway to drain those tanks, and part of that is repacking the lines. We actually at KH1, we went and toured that at the Red Hill facility. The next steps are going to be overseen by the Department of Health, but as a congressional level, what are the steps that you folks need to take to make sure that this is done safely?
Well, at this point, we've done the funding. So we successfully funded the entire package of identifying all the repairs that needed to be done, of planning for very meticulously the defueling of Red Hill and the closing of Red Hill and the relocation of all that fuel elsewhere in the Department of Defense. And so that funding job has been accomplished over the last year and a half or so. It's been just a lot of oversight, just always calling the DOD, saying, where are you guys, what do you need? Also the Department of Health, also the Environmental Protection Agency, also, of course, keeping in very, very close contact with the state, with the county, with our legislators here, and with the community. So it's been an ongoing task, but it is coming to a good place where on October 16th, if things continue as is, we will, in fact, start to defuel Red Hill. And we have the tankers lined up to take that out of Pearl Harbor and distribute it elsewhere throughout our DOD infrastructure. So I'm just, crossing my fingers that everything goes very smoothly in the next couple of weeks. So far, so good.
Yeah, some steps that still need to be hit by the Department of Health, some oversight there. But as you said, mid-October is the target date, so we're approaching that.
Correct. I mean, it's going to be a 3 to 4 month process. And even then, of course, it's not going to be completely finished. There's going to be a residual of fuel that's hard to just kind of drain out. You got to go in there and actually pump it out. And so it's not going to be, I don't want to give anybody the illusions that in, early next year, it's going to be completely drained. It's not going to be. Almost all of it will be drained. We'll be well on our way to closure.